name is John Lent, and I'm the executive director of the American Friends of the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem. One of the wonderful privileges of my work is my friendship with Dua and my visits to Saviour School in Zarqa. You approach the school off a narrow street in downtown Zarqa, and they slide open these big steel doors, and inside, from a very modest neighborhood, is one of the most vibrant educational environments that I've ever had the experience of seeing. Dua has built a haven in Zarqa that respects all students and gives all of these wonderful young people a chance to succeed and have productive lives. She has the latest technology. The classrooms and the hallways are sparkling clean. I'm always struck by that. And it's full of very positive and energetic students and dedicated teachers. All of them love Dua. She's not easy. She's tough and she's no nonsense, but they love her. The students know that she will do anything and everything to help them learn and to move ahead. There are about 20 low vision and blind students at Saviour School. These students have a remarkable opportunity that's not available to young people with blindness or low vision anywhere else in Zarqa. They and all of the students with disabilities are fully integrated into the classroom. And the school is also dedicated to helping girls understand that their education is equally valued, and that Dua and the staff actively encourage girls to stay in school and give them the encouragement and support they need to succeed academically. And that is not a given in schools in Jordan. That is indeed something unique and special about Saviour School. So whenever I visit Jordan, I visit Dua and Fayek, her husband. Some of you met Fayek early on in this chat. He was on the screen with Dua. Every time I visit, the visit is uplifting, it's inspiring, and I learn something new about education and about what it is to be a Christian, running a wonderful Christian school in a Muslim context. So I've asked Dua to start today by telling us a little bit about herself. I've asked her not to make this a formal presentation, but to talk about herself, her background, growing up, and her path to the principalship of Saviour School. So with that, I again thank you all for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you, Dua.
Hello, everybody, again. Really, I'm happy to make this conversation or the Zoom meeting. Even we are far away and long distance between us, but there is a spirit, a very nice spirit between us. And thank you, my friend John, and always calling me my hero. You know, this is encouraging me too much. Always in my mind, I am the hero, so I have my community. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, that we are chatting together and have this meeting. And thank you, St. Albans, that really you helping the school and the students, and really you are thinking of this special building, special education building in Zarqa, in this the desert area, let's say, but this is like a light in the city. And this is very famous educational building. I will start to talk about myself. Maybe it's a brief because it's long life now. It's 27 years at the school. Actually, I finished my first certificate from Yarmouk University. It's in the north. I finished something called banking and finance, nothing related to education. So another thing you have to know that I'm priest wife. So when the priest moved to other province or other country, city, I have to go with him. So we going to Zarqa. Zarqa, it's not an easy city. When I was there, really, I cannot forget my mother's words. You are going to the hell, because this is not an easy city. I told her I will go with my husband, and I love my husband too much. So at that time, I started as an accountant, because this is my job. I was working at a bank and insurance company. So I started as an accountant. At that time, one of the teachers, she quit. And they said, Dua, can you come and teach these students? Can you come to teach science and the second grade? I said, I will try. I tried my best, because this is my word to my teachers now. When you teach, this is like an art. Teach them as your family, as your son or as your daughter. This is very important. I send them to their homes. They memorize everything. They know everything. They know the discipline and how to be clean. Some of the observers or the examiners, they came from the Ministry of Education. In the beginning, he gave me 26 out of 30. That was my report. I told him, but I taught very well. He said, but you forget something, Dua. You need to them as a pupil to give you the what they learn, not just to talk. Listen to them, and you need, we call it in Arabic, what they learn from you. Did they have the same words that you said, or they have their own words, or they have perceptions? So from that time, I put in my mind what I want to do and what I want to ask them. Are they happy with me or not? Are they relaxed or not? This is how I start teaching. Then I was the principal of the kindergarten, because the Ministry of Education, they need somebody to have the bachelor degree in something and 3 experience in education. So all these fits me. After this, one of the principals, they have only, because before they didn't need all these certificates or this experience, so they ask for somebody who has experience and the bachelor degree. So I appointed at that time, 1999, as principal of the school, but I have an assistant, because something that I didn't, it's not in my knowledge as education principal. At that time, Faig helped me, and we have a big goal for this school, because we love this school. We love the city, Zarqa, because I told you it's not an easy city. To make this school bigger and bigger, because we started from kindergarten till 6th grade only. When we came, 1994, before I came a principal of the school grew up with 3 girls for the 7th grade, then the 8th grade, then 2004, we finished the building to make it as a secondary school, and it's from the most famous schools like what John told you, because we believe that education, it's not to give information, it's to have the information together, to solve, to let the people, the pupils, to solve their problems. This is very important, and to deal with the others, and to deal with the others very politely, and to respect the others. This is very important. John, maybe he noticed when I talk to anybody of my students, I make my voice low, decreasing my voice, and I said, please, let's talk as a gentleman and a handsome human being. This is very important. You will go out of this world, of the small world, of this building, to the bigger world, and you have to deal with the others. You have to deal with the others logically and gently and with full information, and you have to know how to deal with them, with the others. This is very important, because education now, you can see the information everywhere. Just press one button. You can't find the information. But the good information from the good teacher, the good behavior from a good teacher, this is very important. This is what we teach in our school.
Hey, Dua, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You mentioned that several times that Zarqa is a difficult city.
Difficult city, yes.
Could you tell us a little more about life in Zarqa, and
yes.
for you and for students and for the
yes.
school?
Zarqa is very conservative city, or very conservative people, because the Muslims brother lives there. And some of the tribes, the very big tribes, lives there. This is the Bani Hassan tribe. They call their tribe as the 1 million tribe. Some of them rich, some of them not, but they all together. This is tribe, you know. This is not an easy city, as I mentioned, because this is, as I told you, a very poor city. Even all the factories, 80% of the Jordanian factories, they're in Zarqa, and the refinery of Jordan is in Zarqa. But all the employees lives in Zarqa, so I can put them in the limited salary employees. You can find some of the owners of the factory there, but they didn't live in Zarqa, because Zarqa is very, very hot. As I told you, there is no plants. John, he noticed, no plants at all, no water, very hot. It's a desert. And now and it's the main road for everywhere, for the north, for Amman. It's far from Amman, 30 kilos. So anybody who wants anything, he will go to the capital. And Amman, there's everything in Amman. So because of that, it's a very difficult city, and it's very, very crowded.
Could you talk about some of the challenges to Christian families in Zarqa?
As I told you, the challenges, sometimes we have the challenges as a Christian. As a Christian, I told John, I can't go like this. My cabinet, I divide my cabin 3 parts, because I can't go to my job like this. No way. Because as I told you, they are very conservative people, and in a hidden thing, they don't want to, as a Christian, to interfere in their life. We are a Christian, and they thought we are open, and they can do whatever with our daughters or with our ladies. But because we are with them, we know now how to deal with them. Thanks God with that we have this king. Thanks God, and this government, because they know that and they protect us. Even now in the corona, when we open the church 3-4 weeks now, the police stand there to protect the Christians. And even in the Easter and Christmas, the police cars, they came here, and the security, they came in front of the church to protect us. And they called us, anything, please call us. Thanks God that our king and our government, they knows the mentality, some of the mentality of the people. One of the artists, she is Egyptian, she died from the corona. And they said, you know, what is the religion of this artist? They said, we don't know, maybe because she's without the cover, hair cover, maybe she's Christian. They said, oh, go to hell. Don't. We said in Arabic, Allah yirhamo, God take him to the heaven. They said, no, go to hell if he is Christian. We faced this. Some of the families in Zarqa or in other cities, they didn't send their girls, their daughters especially, and their boys, of course, to the government schools because it's crowded, it's very crowded, and some of the bad people or the Muslims people, they treated them very badly. They prefer to cut from their food or from whatever to send their children to the Christian private schools, because there's no Christian government schools. All the government schools, they are Muslims. What happens, I told John, in the beginning of the scholastic year, the past scholastic year, they have strike. The teachers strike, the government teachers strike. They stop teaching. I think you hear or you see in the news this, they stopped teaching. The government called us, one of the government, because I will tell you about my position now in Zarqa. Please take the 12th grade at your school just to solve this problem with the teachers, with the strike, what they make the strike. So I took 60 girls. You know, imagine that, the room 5 by 5, and you put your children and 60 girls. I separate them into 2 rooms, but I have to, because my, and really I treated them exactly like my students. And you know, now because Saviour School is very special, even the internet learning, or the what we call it, that we teach them far away from the school, we had a good experience. Even this is the first time we have this experience. We used the whole capacity that we have to give them a very good information. And in 2007, it was I running my campaign, my own campaign for the municipality in Zarqa, and I won. And I stayed there for years, and I was the only Christian. And this is the same now, but this time the government appointed me as the local parliament in Zarqa. And also I am the only Christian there. We are 38 members, and I am the only Christian in this community. I cannot differentiate between Muslims and Christians, because this is the humanity. I believe in humanity. I believe when I teach these students or these human beings, one day they will help me not me as dua, the community, the society. I have to give the society a good people to be a good society and to be a good Jordan, because we have really a good equality in Jordan and educated people. And I'm proud of what they said about Jordan pandemic crisis, because really runs this crisis in or manage it in a good way, because the main goal of our government is to keep us safe. Really, when you say we are almost 12 millions and we have 1,147 cases only, and we have 10 deaf people, I think this is a very low number with this population. But the most bad effect of this pandemic crisis is the economical issue. 30% or 35% of the people, they lost their job. And I am at the school, really, I don't know what to do, because I wrote something here and I told my teachers about, we are living now day by day, and we cannot take a decision immediately, like what I did. John, he knows me, I'm very strict at the job, but I cannot take any decision, because as if I feel myself walking through the mud or walking through the snow. We live day by day. This is the first year since 27th year, I didn't sign the contracts of the teachers, because I don't know, will not, because all the students, they said, we don't know, we will go back to the school or not. We will continue as normal or not. We will have the buses or not. So many questions. And the Minister of Education, he didn't give the exact decision. So now he put a date for going back or coming back to the school, the 10th of August. We are happy if this has happened. So we will continue as a good scholastic year, or we will know how many students we will have, how many teachers we will have, or the crew, if I can say, the crew of the school.
I hate to stop you, but I do want to leave some time for questions. Is that okay if we send a few questions your way?
Just, I want to talk about the blind people.
Okay.
If you allow me, just 2-3 minutes. We started this project, Integration the Blind People 2001, the permission from His Highness Prince Raed. The Ministry of Education, they were surprised how they will sign this class. So we struggled with them, but we go on, and they have, John, he noticed they are very good. You cannot notice that they are blind or different from the fully integrated at the classes. Now, because of this crisis, I talked to somebody, because I have to find another, to have money, not to get teachers, because I have to sometimes. So I talked to the Prince Raed. He is the son of Prince Raed. If he can pay some salary of one of the teachers. I didn't have the answer yet. And now we continue with the Aldia institution, because this is a special institution for the blind and for the handicapped people. I take just only the blind, and now I will have more and more, because they cannot go to Amman and come back to Zarqa. So they will bring them to my school to continue this integration.
I noticed when I was looking on the map of Zarqa, the one that a couple that I was able to access, it showed that there were refugee camps close by.
Yes.
Are many or even just a few of your students that come from the refugee camps, or are they largely from the city itself?
Okay. Question, by the way. As I told you, it's not an easy city.
Yes.
Maybe I forget to mention that. Because when the refugees came from Syria and Iraq,
Yes.
especially from Syria, we have so many refugees, by the way, if I can mention, if I have time, John, the Palestinian, they integrated with the others and they married from each other. And, you know, we integrated with the Palestinians since
Yes.
48. Then the Lebanese came a while and then go to Lebanon and whatever. The Iraqi, they came with money. They bought their own lands. They very rich. The Syrian, so they spread the biggest one, and in Azraq, it's near Zarqa, but they came to Zarqa because it's the cheapest city. They can live in Zarqa and they can work. And if they want to rent a house, a very small house, it's very cheap. Or if they want to buy their food, it's very cheap. And the government, they accept them and put their children in at the schools, at government schools. In the pandemic, all the teachers, they asked me what we will do. I said, take the umbrella. God will give you the rain. We don't know from where. It's from St. Albans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Duan.